In the morning when I rise, give me Jesus.
Good morning. So yesterday we talked about how the commandments of God are not the dictates of an angry, heavy-handed God that uses the commandments as a measure to decide who to keep out of heaven. No, they are the wisdom of a loving God who wants you living abundantly, living in relationship and unity with Him because He loves you with such an outrageous love. We miss that because we see the commandments from a physical standpoint. Oh, it's just like I said yesterday. You remember the man standing on top of a 10-story building, and the commandment is do not jump because if you do, it's going to kill you. Well, the commandments of God are spiritual. In Romans 7, there's a conversation that Paul's having, and he says, I do the things I don't want to do. I don't do the things I want to do. And so in Romans 7, verse 14, he says this, we know that the law is spiritual. Oh, the whole point of yesterday was we need to start seeing the commandments of God as spiritual because God is concerned about our insides and He wants us living a rich, abundant life. Well, I want to pick it up where we left off yesterday. You remember we were in Genesis and we read verse 16, the first commandment, enjoy the creation that I've created specifically for you as my crowning jewel of creation because I want you enjoying everything that I've created for you. And then he says, so I'm in Genesis 2, verse 17, there's a tree that basically he says is poison. It's going to kill you if you eat from this one. He says this, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat from it, you will surely die. Oh, it's like he's saying, if you're going to live by rules, it's going to kill you. I don't want you living by rules. He wants you living by relationship. It's like he's saying, if you will walk with me in everywhere we go and everything we do, know that we're together, then I will walk you into good and away from evil. Oh, Jesus gave us that in what we call the Lord's Prayer. It's in Matthew 6. When Jesus said, pray like this, and one of the things he said, pray like is, lead us not into temptation. See, that implies that we're following the Lord. That's how we're supposed to walk. We're supposed to walk in fellowship and unity with Him. And when we do, He doesn't walk us into temptation. He walks us into what's good and away from evil. You see, that's what God intended from the beginning of time. That we wouldn't be worried about rules, that we wouldn't live by rules. I was trying to think of a good example. You probably are like me. If you're driving your car, you stop at red lights. You stop at stop signs. But that's not because there's any kind of loving relationship with anybody in the city or even the state or the nation. No, it's just a rule. Imagine if in a marriage, if you're married, that you just live by a bunch of rules, not by a relationship. It would be a terrible marriage. I like the way Steve McVeigh talks about this. He said, I was gone for 2 weeks and I came home and my wife met me at the airport. And as I saw her across the lobby, I walked across to her. And here's my question. When I got to my wife, do I need to kiss her? And if I need to, I mean, if that's the rule, if the rule is to kiss her, can I just kiss her on the cheek? Is that good enough? Or does it have to be a kiss on the lips? And if it's on the lips, is just a peck good enough? Or do I have to really kiss her? Or one of these things? I mean, what is the rule for kissing your wife after you've been gone for 2 weeks? See, that's a ridiculous question because you're going to kiss your wife or not kiss your wife based on your relationship. And that's how God wants us walking with Him, not worried about rules, because we will keep the rules when there's a loving unity between us and God. Don't eat from that tree. Don't live your life by a bunch of rules. Christianity is not about trying hard to keep the rules. Christianity is about seeing that we're united to the loving Father because of what Jesus did to open the door for that. Oh, behold that one today. And we'll talk some more tomorrow. God bless you.
Give me Jesus. Give me Jesus.